for this line, it's a little strange because there's no x. The variable x is missing completely from this inequality. Does anyone remember what type of line this makes? It's a very specific, special type of line when x is missing completely. Savannah? This makes a horizontal line. Here's why. There is no variable x. This means that the line I'm about to draw cannot go through the x-axis. There is a y, so it will go through the y-axis. So here's what we do. The negative 2 on the y-axis would be down here. Go ahead and make a dot. The only type of line that could be at negative 2 on the y-axis, but there's no x, so it doesn't go through the x-axis, would be a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line. This one is underlined, so it will be solid. And it says less than. And this one should be really obvious. If it's less than, am I going to shade above or below? This one will be below. So we go ahead and shade it in below. And everything below this line in our graph would get shaded in. And that's it for a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are usually very, very easy to figure out where to shade. What's going to be a little more difficult for us, I think, is this one. What if instead of y, it says x? We'll say greater than 1. If I try to graph this one, things are a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and go 5 in every direction again. If you go a little more, that's fine. If I'm going to graph this line, we have something different. Instead of y and a number, it's x and a number. Can someone tell me what kind of line this one's going to make? When I had y and then no x, I got a horizontal line. Here I have x but no y. It's going to be a vertical line. So here's what I do. I say on the x-axis at positive 1, that would be right here, I'm going to make my first point. But since there is no y, it's just x, this is going to be a vertical line. It's not underlined, so it's going to be dotted. So I'm going to go ahead and make my dotted line. Here's where the challenge comes in. This is a vertical line, which means there is no above and below. There is only left and right. But it says greater than. Someone raise your hand if you have an idea. What am I going to do if there is no above and below, there's only left and right? Where would I shade this in if I want it to be greater than? Emily? Good. She said you're going to shade to the right because the right side, and she's talking about the x-axis now, the right side is where everything's bigger. These are the positive numbers. Left would be all the negative numbers. So since I have a vertical line, there is no above and below, there's just left and right. Greater than would be to the right. So we're going to shade in everything on the right.